Jay Mims is on. Jay, how are you doing, man? John JR says, will a virtual case race work?
No.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm never counted out. Coach, are you there? Oh, he needs to turn on his audio. That's all right.
Okay.
But yeah, maybe we could do a virtual case race. I don't know.
No. I want to stare Cam down in the face.
It's true. Well, what's up, Coach? How are you doing this evening?
I'm all right.
Yeah, you feeling good?
I'm doing all right. Yeah.
Tonight is supposed to be the first night for Union Omaha at home. It kind of comes. We're kind of sad about it, obviously. But what is the state of the team as of right now?
Oh, I think the team's okay. I mean, I think they get it, right? We've had some time to digest it for the last 5 weeks, 6 weeks. So I think they understand, and they're just being optimistic like everybody else and trying to listen to what's out there from us, and then figure out what's next. But I think they probably want to be playing tonight as well. But I think they know hopefully soon in the next whatever it is, right? That we'll get out there soon.
Now, Jay, you've been, based on all 22 players we've talked to on your roster, you've been doing almost daily Zoom calls with everyone. How has that been helping to kind of bridge the gap that all these players have, where normally they'd be building that chemistry on the field, but right now they're stuck doing it through a computer screen because you can't have more than 3 or 4 of them for safety and health in the same room?
Maybe that's a question for those guys to see how they're getting along. But I mean, it looks great. It looks like they're building chemistry. I mean, I think you kind of have to, right? You've only been together 6 weeks, and you're all kind of stuck in maybe in a city that they're not familiar with, and they're in one apartment kind of complex. So I think this time forces you to kind of to bond and have to do things other than what they love. And so I think they've enjoyed that for sure. And for us, we're at a disadvantage compared to other teams that had a year on us, and so we only have 6 weeks. So I think whatever we can do to build the culture and build the chemistry, we can. I mean, that's my job to lead that. And so we've done stuff every day, and I think most of the players they've really enjoyed it, and we've kind of mixed it up, so it's been fun.
Coach, I was talking off camera with some of the guys during our interviews. Talk to the fans about what are those things that you're doing daily to keep those guys kind of motivated. What are the things? Who are the people that are coming in? Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so kind of going backwards from a week. Friday is a team kind of a psychologist, and we have different topics every week that we discuss. This last week's topic was sleep patterns, and everything about your mind and how sleep works, balance with your mind, and how we can kind of really control that, and what are myths out there and what's true. And I think that was interesting. Obviously rest is an important I think an important tribute for to a player to have, an athlete to have. And so that was the topic this week. But Friday is usually team psychology calls. Thursday is usually updates for we kind of give them state guidelines and league guidelines of what's going on, and so I can kind of update them because there's so much stuff out there from their friends or from maybe other guys in the league or teams in the league, or just rumors out there. So it's nice to kind of tell them, here's what's really going on, and give them an update. And then we've had a special guest on. We've kind of added that the last couple of weeks. We've had something to look forward to. We each of the last 2 weeks we have a special guest on Thursdays as well. So that's been fun. Wednesdays have been workouts, like core workouts, which have been interesting because I let the guys lead it, and I pick captains every week. And they're judged off their communication, but I think more importantly their creativity of the workout and their positive energy and what they can come up with. And each week I challenge them. It has to get better. And the first one we had 3 weeks ago was pretty good. So it's been they set the bar pretty high, but I know the guys, I don't know if they're excited about that or they don't want to get picked, but I pick 3 guys every week. And so that's Wednesdays. And then Tuesdays, it's usually social media stuff, just kind of update them on, what we can do on social media to really engage the fans and engage guys. And I think the last couple of weeks you've probably seen some of them getting out now where I've put out videos with the players with helping them out with the season tickets and putting out those messages to the fans. So that's been working on that for a couple of weeks now of, showing their personalities, which that has been really, really cool. And I know James has really helped us out on that in the front office side. He's been incredible to do some stuff with, we can't see the fans, so it's our way to kind of reach out to them. But that's usually social media Tuesday. And then Monday is probably my favorite. It's get to know your teammate. And I come up with 4 questions on Monday, and each player has 30 seconds on each question. So about 2 minutes a player. And, we have to be obviously efficient with our time. I don't want to, take too much time away from the guys, but you have, 20, 25 coaches and players total. And, you're at about an hour Zoom call. So I try to keep the calls at an hour each, but that's usually my favorite. Give the guys 4 questions and you get to really to actually hear things that maybe I didn't know about a certain player or even a certain, coach. Joel's new, and I've only known Joel for about probably 3 months now since I started talking to him. And I've known Danny for 20 years. So, but still he still says things that surprise me, and known Vicente for about 10 years. And then Justin, our sports performance kind of athletic trainer, I've only known him for a short time. So it's been good for me to learn about the staff as well. So that's kind of our weekly Zoom, organization.
Now, would you be willing to share some of those or this past week's 4 questions? We don't want to give the players any spoilers, but.
Oh, last the Monday we just had?
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see. I can give you all kinds of dirt on some answers and questions.
Ooh.
Write them all. You write everything down, questions and answers?
Oh man, what's that?
Do you write down the question and what everybody answers to?
I do. I try to take notes. I really again, because for me it's about learning about these guys and really we got 25, 26 guys, and it's my job to kind of really get to know them. And so I try to as much as I can with obviously being engaged and listening. And so, but yeah, it's pretty, last week's was pretty fun. It was 2 pet peeves. That was a great one. Give us 2 pet peeves that you really gets on your nerves. Soccer related, non-soccer related, anything. And so I think I learned pretty quickly that if I eat with our team, I'm going to have my mouth shut, not say anything to anybody, and just keep my head down and chew to myself and not say a word and hurry up and get done and get out of there. That was one of the jokes on that. And then Joel was giving me shit as well because Joel's a avid biker. Joel loves biking, and one of my pet peeves is when I'm driving on the road and the biker's on the road and I have to slow down my car to kind of go around the biker. I hate that. And Joel started, oh, we have the right of way. And I said, well, I didn't say it was, illegal or illegal. I'm just telling you it's a pet peeve of mine. Like, relax, Joel, tranquilo. And so
that though. The amen. I hated that. I hate that.
Yeah. So there's a ton. I mean, people, we had one that someone hated, I think it was our Justin said, when someone leaves something in a box, they take the last thing, they leave the box of the granola bars empty, and then you go grab the box. And then I was like, funny you say that, Justin. The last time I went to the lobby to see if we needed more food, I was like, oh, we got tons of granola bars. And then I picked it up and it was empty. So someone did it on the team. So yeah, there was, it was, up from driving to chewing to, it was reading. It was just all kinds of stuff. And it was funny with the roommates, right? Because some of the roommates have probably never heard that. And then they're looking at each other about temperatures in the room or, music, things like that. That was kind of, that was interesting. We talked about books, and that was cool to see, give us one book that you'd recommend or one article or, one, something, a documentary, if you're into that. So we kind of shared that. So yeah, I try to mix it up. I always try to keep one question back to review from the week before about something, and then usually about the guest, like what did they learn about the guest? I think this week we had Jermaine Jones on a couple weeks ago, and so I kind of asked the guys what did they like about Jermaine, or what did they learn, or what was interesting about that. So we'll always try to go back on the week before and ask a question on that, and then some kind of soccer question, and something kind of quirky, and then just something where they get to show their personality. That's what I want to see, and because I'm still getting to know these guys.
How have you? I mean, I talked to a couple of other guys earlier this week, and how did you set up the roommate arrangements? They said it was kind of random, but knowing you very like I know you, was it completely random, or was there a method to the madness?
I plead the fifth. No, yeah, there was for sure. Probably, I spend a lot of time on that type of stuff because I think I've done it before, obviously, with building a college program from scratch, and I think there's positives probably to positives and negatives to probably both as far as in how you do certain things. But I'm pretty hands-on, and I think all of that stuff matters when you're building a culture. And just like when we go on a road trip and we go play a game of who rooms with who in a hotel room, it's not just like give me the alphabetical order or give me the numerical order. I mean, I'll spend 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour, and maybe lose sleep overnight of trying to think, I don't want to have those two guys together. I got to really think about that. So just, I don't know, details like that matter to me, especially when you're starting a culture. From meals to rooming with someone to who they're hanging out with, all that stuff. I mean, we're trying to build a culture. We don't have one yet. That's the disadvantage we're at. But I also think it's an advantage for us because I'm not walking into maybe a team that was maybe the culture wasn't great, or maybe it was something that I didn't like, and you don't have to maybe spend time changing it. It is kind of how I want to. It's who I bring in. But culture always comes back to the players that you bring in. So I think it always goes back to that. But yeah, so I will call it randomly, I guess.
Yeah, we'll call it random.
Yeah.
Now, Jay, based on what you're saying, that there's a big culture deficit on this team, it seems like all these guys are meshing extremely well. Everyone we've talked to, that culture seems to be building and growing in spite of quarantine. But everything that we've talked to the players about and everything in social media, there's a lot of food involved. And I'm not going to ask you about salads because I've already, heard enough there, thrown some heckles my way.
That's funny.
But what has been, I'm not sure if you've eaten the same, had any of the meals from the restaurants of the team.
I have.
The players. What's been your favorite?
Oh, geez. I mean,
they're all fantastic.
They are good. I'll start with, we're trying to take care of our guys. That starts at the very top with, Gary Green and Larry Botel and all our, our owners. It starts with those guys. And Gary wants to take care of these guys, and I appreciate that. I'm trying to build a culture and trying to, really have guys, buy in and come here. And at this time, it's tough, right? We're not training necessarily. We're not playing. But part of it is we really want to make sure, like if we were, that we would feed these guys. We would give them breakfast. We'd have, give them lunch. And so it's important, especially at a time like this, to have those type of things, not only from a feel like, they're really taken care of, and they're really, we're caring about them, and we want them to, make sure that we're looking after them, but also from it's another thing, right? That we don't have much going on right now. And it's just something else where they can really, look forward to something, or see another teammate down there, or something that's just in their daily schedule. We call it the new normal, but that's been important for us. So we've had a lot of good ones. We've had, some of our our partners have been incredible. The guys over at Corner Kick, they've been with us through thick and thin. It's great because, it's not the season they probably thought either what we were going to have. And for them to stay with us at this time and to still provide us food, those guys have been great. I know, Juan over at Epica has been incredible of giving us food. And, as much as we have rice and beans and different things, guys never get sick of that stuff. Chicken, rice, beans, they can eat that every day. So we've had some, really good meals from, our part of our sponsors, but, and then we just try to mix it up, there's people out here that are hurting restaurants wise. And so we really want to help those guys out too. And, I know it's just a little bit, maybe once a week or something, or once every couple of weeks, but I think every, big team order like this helps. And so we want to try to go to different, organizations across the area that try to, pitch in here to really help. And I know some of the other owners have helped us in the Blackstone area as well. We have the guys in Blackstone, Jay and Matt. They've really helped out with the local restaurants around there and really taking care of us with, Mula and I know Meatball and Noli's Pizza. So there's so many good food places where the guys live in that area, which is awesome.
So, I mean, the thing that impressed me in our last interview, when we first interviewed way back, was that February? I mean, like all that, is that you talked about how each player was a leader in every play, and you broke down why they were a leader. Which one's the class clown?
Oh, geez. You know what? Well, I think the quirky things are starting to come out now, which is great. Like you obviously, you probably saw the one on social media, like Dalton's video. Like, that's pretty good.
I had the pleasure of talking to Elma, and he's just a class clown in and of himself. I mean, like
he's hilarious. One of the questions we had was, what do we miss about training the most? And it's funny, for me, one of the things I missed most was right before training every practice, or about every practice, Elma puts on, he borrows Rashid's goalkeeper gloves, and he puts them on. And before every training, he gets in goal, and people just line up and shoot like it's a, U10 practice or something. And at first, I kind of looked at this and said, man, I think we can be a little bit more efficient with our time. I like to be on time and pretty structured and say, all right, this is, not going to prepare us. But we're most important to me is we're building a culture. So I kind of let it go the first couple of times I saw it. And, instead of just, I think my old self, maybe 7 years ago, would have jumped in and said, all right, guys, come on, let's go. Let's do something productive. And, put up grids of 5v2, and I put, soccer, tennis, and things like that. And I did that a little bit because not everyone necessarily participates, and we will strategically set some things up so guys see it and then they start doing it without telling them you're doing this, because I think nobody likes to get told what to do. And, but I watched it a couple of times, and guys love it. And guys absolutely love it. Everybody it started with 3 guys, and then 4, and then 5, and then Elma just talks so much smack, and he's actually pretty good at talking smack, and he's actually decent in goal, even though he's not the probably tallest guy, but he's pretty good. And then it was 7 guys, and it was 10 guys, and it was 11 guys, and it was 12 guys. And pretty soon it was almost our whole team. And then the guys that aren't and say, I'm not in that, what are they doing? They're still looking and seeing what's happening. So I finally ended up getting them. I found a old pair of goalkeeper gloves, and one day before practice, I kind of honored them and said, hey, this is for you, so you don't have to borrow Rashid's. And I think everybody kind of gave him a standing O. But he's pretty he's got a lot of personality. So we're starting to see a lot of guys with a lot of personality, which is a good thing.
Awesome. Hey, Jay, thank you so much for coming on. Appreciate it. I hope you're doing all right. Thank you so much for still leading the team even through all of this. But thank you so much for what you've done for not only the team, but for, the fans.
You got it. If I can help in any way, you guys let me know. I'm always around. So
thanks so much.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Jay.